Today I want to talk about how crucial your title of your book is. Now I know that seems straightforward, but we see that people don't give it the right enough importance. I see it all the time. Um, I see it in the groups when people are sharing ideas back and forth. I see it, and I've been in the industry 16 years, but especially with the influx of newbie authors, they they don't who don't have the training or the experience in the industry or the craft, so no one's there to teach them this or tell them. But um, so I just want to check my notes to make sure I stay on track here. So the title, it's not just you need a good title. It's absolutely crucial for so many reasons. But the main thing is, especially nowadays, people have short attention spans. A. B, it since 2020, the influx of new authors, self-publishing, the competition, where the market is saturated. So there is tons of competition. So there's another reason, B, why title is so important. And C, just regarding navigation, it's crucial you have a proper title just for them to be able to remember or get to your page or platform where you're selling the book. So, and I could go on, there's a whole bunch of points to it, but there's so many, but it's crucial. It's kind of a no-brainer, so I don't want to spend too much time on the whys because I shouldn't even have to say the whys, but there are so many reasons of why it is so crucial. But let's get to how to make a proper title. Oh, and the other reason too, sorry, I skipped something. I hinted at it and then I skipped. On most of your sales, if not all of them, are going to be online. Some people do get them in some bookstores, some do book fairs, there's other ways, but for the most part, it's online. So basically, people are doom scrolling. They're scrolling really fast. These people with short attention spans, scrolling really fast, and if they're looking for books, if thinking about buying a book, they're looking at massive amounts of covers and titles, and they're just flying through. So think of it as a commercial, you have a fraction of a second to grab their attention with your cover, and I'm going to do a video about covers, which is the second if not equally important to the title. They kind of go hand in hand, but we'll get into that also in the other video. But those two have to grab your viewer. The cover and the title especially have to do several things. So this is what you're looking for in your title. And if you don't have it, you don't have the best title you could have. First, it needs to be catchy. Second, it needs to give you an indication, if not an absolute picture, of what the book is about. And thirdly, it needs to be easy to remember, not just catchy, but easy to remember, because not everybody's going to click right away, right? Or what if they're seeing it they're hearing about it through word of mouth or at book fairs or whatever. There's so many ways where you want them to be able to actually have a memory to go look for the book if they choose to do so later, which could be a case. They might go, oh, I don't have the money right now, I'll go later. So it's crucial that you have a title that they don't go, what was the name of that book again? So it can't be a forgettable, boring name. And a lot of people will choose that out of desperation because they don't know how to do it, especially the new authors. So they'll pick, and as an illustrator, I naturally give writing notes because I'm also a published writer as well. So since I have to read it anyways, I give coaching notes, and I do coaching as well. So I have given many a note to writers before, and I will try to mention this to them. But again, it's funny how the instinct will be but I think it's just more panic, just to go with something that describes it and it's simple and it tells you what it is and that's it. And they go to cliches that are boring. Like if it's supposed to be an epic adventure about a dog who finds this weird, sparkly yellow ball that takes him on an unforeseen adventure. Okay, but they call the book Fluffy and the Yellow Ball. That is a very common move for newbie authors. That is technically an acceptable title, but it ain't doing anybody any good. It ain't enticing anybody. It's not catchy. It doesn't tell you a whole lot. It just tells you the bare basics, but it still doesn't give you any more. It doesn't do anything extra than, and it's certainly not catchy or memorable. What was it? What's some dog's name in a yellow ball? You know what I mean? Maybe they'll remember Fluffy if they pick the name Fluffy because it's so common a name, but what if you pick Rex or whatever? They'll go, what was that dog's name? Something. That's a crappy title. So what you want to do is have a catchy title, preferably, really, that gives you some indication or at least entices you to want to know more about the book. If it doesn't tell you about the book, the title should then have some mysterious quality that makes you want to like flip over to the back and learn and get a summary of the book, because then you've got interest. So it has to be an interesting, catchy, easy to remember titles. So no long-winded titles, because nobody's going to remember them. Even big publishing houses will make this mistake, and it is a mistake, and they get away with it because they have marketing money to shove these products down your throat anyways. But for a little Joe Schmo, you can't take the risk of a long title. So it can't be Little Pretty Joey's Magical Marvelous Adventure Across the Marvelous Adventure Verse. Yeah, that all sounds well and good, but nobody's going to remember that stuff. So that's a terrible title. So keep it short, keep it simple, catchy, informative, or enticing. You'll know it when you get it. You'll know when you get you'll go, that's it, that's the title. You'll be excited by it. Don't pick any title you're not excited about. It doesn't do the things I said. Choose a proper title. It's crucial. That and your cover are your ambassadors. You have a fraction of a second to get their interest. The title is where you do it, and the cover is where you do it. Pick a fantastic title. And do research if you have to. If you're stumped, go research the subject or names or things or whatever to pick that title. Do whatever you got to do. But don't settle for a plain or ineffective title.